Hey everybody, happy Sunday and welcome to the Labor Day weekend edition of Unsealed. Steve, I'm here with Steve today from Hendren Racing Engines. So tell me, Steve, I don't know if I want to ask how your week was. I'm not even going to ask. His week, he was really busy. I'm just going to fill in the blank.
Pretty much it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to see the look on your face. But it's a long weekend. How's your weekend been?
Oh, so far so good. Can't complain.
Good. Okay. Doing anything fun? Exciting?
I did nothing other than sleep. So.
Well,
which is unusual for me.
Well, you went to your mama's yesterday.
Well, yeah, we did that. But
yeah. There was that. I'm gonna get logged in over here. Any big plans for Labor Day Monday?
Probably gonna be working tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Because it is Labor Day.
I know. Actually, do you know the history?
I might actually try to get off a little bit early tomorrow, just so we can go support our friend Rock and Randall right there.
Oh.
Tomorrow at the Twisted Pear in town. So.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm probably gonna go kayaking.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just totally drew a complete 100% blank right there.
So I should call you Joe Biden?
Oh my God. Sort of.
You know the things.
You
the
know,
things,
the thing.
The
Oh,
things.
the thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
Do you have any questions written on a piece of paper to hand me?
No, and I don't even have the answers on my teleprompter here, so we're,
Golly.
it's a bit sketchy how today might be.
I'll be honest.
Because normally I put answers on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
And only accept questions from people who pre-give me the questions.
End quote.
Yeah.
I did see that, by the way. Yeah. It's just, wow. All right. I'm going to see if we're showing up here on the Facebook over here.
On the Facebook?
On the Facebook.
Why don't you do that beforehand?
Well, we have to... No, I was already logged in. Oh. But it can't tell me that we're live until we're live.
You always have computer issues.
Well, I don't have computer... Look. I have this all set up.
I'm pressed this up and running, so...
Well, yeah, it's all set up. I can't be looking at the questions people are asking until we're actually live.
I got you.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I would say that that's a thing.
Let me give some answers real quick.
Oh. Okay.
No, I don't know what jets you need to run in your stock Holly carburetor. No, I don't know why your engine's overheating. What else?
X85.
Yeah. X85 is better than everything else right now. So there you go.
Okay.
I'm going to give those answers straight away.
I know. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, you know what? We are in North Carolina. And as of Friday at 5 o'clock, we slid into phase 2.5.
What the fuck is 2.5?
Well, I'll tell you what 2.5 is. Okay. It means the gyms are open up again.
Okay. So we'll have no more fat people. Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what food our culture eats here in North Carolina?
Well, I'm just saying. Potentially we have no more fat people because gyms are now open. Sort of.
Wow, that was a jump. That was like a liberal jump of logic right there.
Well, that's where you assume they go. So,
Wow. I don't even. All right.
That was like a Karen jump of logic is what I'm thinking.
That was a straight up... Yeah. Well, no, I was just having... I have a new guilty pleasure. Actually, no, I just feel like I'm compelled. I feel like I need to be a voice...
Pissing off lefties on the internet?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to have discussions with them.
They don't want to have discussions. Because if you have a discussion, they invoke Nazism instantly.
Yeah, we went there.
Which you are kind of a Nazi because you're 100% like German. So.
I am 100%. I'm German and Austrian. I'm German and Austrian. So it just depends on where the border was at any given time.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So there you go.
So that is my heritage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, those are my people.
You don't subscribe to their beliefs, though.
No.
No, there you go. So,
no.
Right. So you're not a Nazi, but they're going to invoke that anytime that you try to have a conversation because if you're, don't have an argument, you say you're a Nazi.
Well, I literally just had this conversation right before we started the show here, because I have out of 5,000 friends, I did that experiment where find out how many of your friends in common like Donald Trump's page versus how many of your friends like Biden's page. Yeah. And it was like 1,700 to like 12, something like that. Yeah. But
1,700 Trumps.
Oh, of course.
12.
Yes.
Biden's.
Yes. I mean, and I pretty much know my audience. I know who we're talking to right here.
Right.
So, or we're going to be canceled by liberals. I don't know. I mean, whatever. But yeah. So this person's like, well, but he subscribes to Hitler. I could give you a source. And I was like, sure. I mean, I really want to learn what is holding these people
Trump
back. Yes. Yes.
In an argument or a conversation with somebody. Yeah.
And I said, yes, I'd be interested in taking a look. I'm open to hearing these criticisms.
Yep. Show me where his Mein Kampf is on his,
Well, apparently...
The thing.
The thing. No, so it's some blog. I mean, I could just as easily just type up a blog post and be like, Steve Hendren is a jerk and he believes in Hitler, and all of a sudden that's going to be evidence of something.
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened, so...
Well... it shows up on somebody wrote a blog somewhere
and said
something, and so now that becomes evidence.
Right.
I mean, come on. I think our burden of proof is a little bit higher than that. Can we not just be
reasonable? It's kind of like the hit piece on him this week.
Yes,
with the
I would agree.
The soldiers who died in war are losers, or whatever the hell that dipshit son of a bitch in the Atlantic or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Some no-name piece of shit rag comes out and says, and then everybody covers it off of anonymous sources. Well, my anonymous source says, well, I won't even say it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't have one. Just like that guy didn't. So.
Well, come on. I mean, even John Bolton, who absolutely hates Trump.
Right.
I mean, enough that he wrote a book about how much he hates Trump.
Yeah.
He even said this isn't true.
Exactly.
That's got to tell you something. Yeah. I mean, come on. We got to do with better
anyways,
than that.
So that's our...
Okay.
Is that our political conversation?
That is, I'm sorry. It's just kind of
we might have to talk more about it. Well, no, you know what you did do? Your little mini bike? That little...
I love my mini bike.
What do you call it?
My Bromax pit bike.
It's the thing.
Oh my God, that is not going to be the theme of this show.
Okay. But
my Bromax pit bike.
Yeah, your Bromax pit bike. You put the Trump decals on your Bromax yesterday, right?
I did.
Which is what caused the controversial conversations on Facebook for you.
Oh no, that was just a whole different conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm involved in multi conversations.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yes. Although I learned today that I was raised by a Democrat. I didn't know. I mean, my mother was like, I'm a Democrat and always will be.
Big shock.
And I was like, oh, wow. And I don't even know if I'm going to vote. I mean, wow. I mean, that was a big shocker for me. All right, well, let's say hi to some folks.
All right.
I see Scott's here from California, where the ground quakes, the wildfires burn, and we only get to vote once in an election.
Unless you mail it in and then show up on election day.
Oh my gosh. Christopher's like, what's going on today? And we are fired up. Mikey is here with his sunglasses on. Brandon is here. Mikey says, okay. Mikey has a really valid question here. And actually, this is a question that I got earlier this week on the phone. Somebody called me.
Yeah.
You've started a thing.
Yeah.
And that thing is, how much RTV should I use when installing my header gaskets?
I would call Andy Garris at Pro Fabrication and ask him the correct amount, because he's the only one that I know of that recommends that red shit.
Well,
and he can tell you the exact amount you need to use.
Well, that brings us to a good point, though. When you're putting your headers onto your engine, we used to sell gaskets. We don't have those anymore.
No, because some company decided to be a bunch of idiots. Anyways.
And there isn't a version of metal gaskets. How would you suggest, I mean, the actual right way? RTV has become, of course, a big joke on our show, but what is your suggestion for fixing your headers?
The only time in my life that I'm going to recommend you be liberal is when you're putting silicone on header gaskets. On headers. So, be extremely liberal.
Why are you saying that?
What do you mean?
Well, because you don't want to put too much on there and then it gets into the exhaust ports.
I said be extremely liberal.
Yeah, liberal means use a lot.
Not my vocabulary.
Okay, well...
use a liberal amount of silicone.
Okay, well, using a liberal amount means like dumping half the salt shaker into your food. using a scant amount means using very little.
Okay. We're not going to have a...
So, I mean, no. I mean, I'm not trying to have a word, but I don't want to get the wrong information out there. So, use any kind of silicones. Of course, RTV is a joke, but you don't want to overuse it. You want to underuse it, right? Just enough to kiss it.
Exactly what I just said. Use a liberal amount.
Okay, you really need to look that definition up. All right. Joe says, "Hey Steve, what headers do you recommend for a street stock with a 602 running your anti-reversion mufflers?"
Honestly, I mean, I'm going to go back to these guys every time. It's going to be the Profab stuff. I mean, if it fits your chassis, obviously, which I think they fit most. But, and then use theirs with the anti-reversion mufflers that they're making for us currently.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I have seen some good stuff with, crossover headers and stuff like that on our dyno. So, I mean, there's plenty of companies making crossovers that work quite well too. So, I don't think, I mean, the Dynatech. Now you got, because of the gasket thing, you got that in my brain. But anyways, the Profabs, while they do make great power, I'm not going to say that it's the difference between winning and losing in most scenarios, but
Yeah, because they are a lot more expensive.
They're a lot more expensive, but the quality is just second to none. So.
All right, and then another one here. What headers do you recommend for the 602 Crate late model, and also the smaller collectors or larger collectors?
Number one, obviously, again, is going to be Profab. Number two will be BAs. And the BAs, I would probably use a smaller collector.
Well, those are automatically the 2 3/4 inch collector.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I mean, the
I
BAs
didn't know,
are.
But
I know everybody's asking. Everybody's asking you the
brain goes to.
question, but I'm like the header girl. Okay. Christopher says Trump 2020. Yes.
Yes.
Marilou, hi there. What are your thoughts on Larson spanking the late models at Port Royal?
I thought it was pretty cool in the sense that, Kyle Larson's pretty much a badass. I also think that he probably wouldn't have done that if he got into Joe Blow's pile of crap. So
No.
he was in a, top of the line, something that, most guys have been proven to win in, such as, good friends of ours. Mm-hmm. And so I think that contributed to it. I don't know that he would have won if there had been another caution, late in the race, but, no, I think he's a badass. So I think he proved himself as being a top tier race car driver, and he proved why he got to NASCAR Cup type stuff. So,
well, interestingly enough, I saw this on Twitter. That I believe it was on maybe Dirt on Dirt's podcast, but it was just pulled out as a quote, and it was something to the effect of when he was kicked out of NASCAR or left NASCAR, whatever we want to say, that he really felt compelled to prove it to the world that he was there on talent, and I think
he was
gone
there 100%
out there
on talent.
Well, now he's really gone out there and just proven it time and time again, no matter what you get him, behind. And I think it's bringing a lot of attention.
I think he's one of the few that was there on talent.
Oh, well,
I think a lot of these jackasses racing there now are just rich daddy's boys. So.
You know how I feel about that. Well. Yeah, absolutely. But what I think is really positive too, with the lockdown, many of the other sports are either closed down or they're, I don't know, maybe they're all like on their knees. But in racing, we've continued forward. And to have a superstar like Kyle Larson, I believe it's been a positive thing for our sport.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
In every single realm, no matter if it's just a little local dirt track and whatever you're driving, it doesn't really matter.
No,
so
I mean, the dude's
press.
a badass. I mean, I am taking nothing away from him. I think he's a total badass. I don't necessarily think he would have done the same thing if he was, like I said, in Joe Blow's super late model from down the road. But he definitely proved himself to be able to run top tier in what we do.
Well, conversely, I still think that I think you could hand the best equipment. Let's just hand pick any other NASCAR driver and give them the very, very best equipment.
They're not going to do the same thing.
No, I mean, didn't we see that in the truck race? When the NASCAR guys came over to the truck race over at Eldora. I mean, that's been 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that.
They've done it
Oh, I know, but that was
Yeah.
the first one. The first
Right.
one. And this big expectation.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't just magically put somebody into the best equipment and then they magically win.
No.
It is talent at that point, too. All right, next up, Dave agrees with me. I think that's going to be about a liberal, what the use of the word liberal means. We will look it up at some point. Mikey's honest question. I have the Willys equalizer carb with the Super Bowl system. I have the 15 PSI Pro Cam fuel pump, fuel regulator, or no?
Well, no, you don't want to run a regulator with that system. I mean, that system requires no regulator.
Okay.
So you're putting full pressure into the system, and it's regulated within the Super Bowl deal. So, yeah, do not do that. The main thing on the Super Bowl, I would, if you're running his Willys system there, I would definitely make sure that you have his fuel filter, and make sure that your return line is of proper size and not like a corrugated line or anything like that, because the problems that we've run into with them is guys use the wrong return lines and use, the wrong fuel filter and stuff like that.
We'll talk to Willie about that then.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably do a video with Willie on that and help guys understand that, if you're gonna buy that system, buy the whole system, in my opinion.
Well, Mikey's bought all the things that I sell on the website, so
I got you.
part of that could be just where I've dropped off on where does it end?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, the Pro Cam pump's all right. I mean, I've got guys out there running it, but if it was me, I'd invest in a belt drive
Well,
to run with that system.
okay. I don't even have belt drive fuel pumps, so.
You got KSE?
I mean, my tandem pumps that
Yeah.
I run off. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you mean by a belt
Right.
drive. Okay, that's a whole nother deal. All right, gotcha. I didn't actually know that. Okay, next up is Andy is here. He's currently sitting here on the lake thinking about how much I miss the racetrack. Ha 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ha ha ha. Wait, he actually just has one laughy face. But,
Right. You exaggerated his.
I did exaggerate.
His laughy face.
Yeah, I did. All right. Roger says, got your bags packed for the next week for a trip to Boone Speedway in Boone, Iowa for the IMCA 33rd Annual Super Nationals. That's going to be no.
Yeah, that's a hard no here.
I thought it was the 38th because I thought it was like the drunk 38 because I thought it was. I've been watching the IMCA Super Nationals Facebook group. They've done a fantastic job. Big shout out to Brett Root and what they've been doing on that Facebook group to get that engagement going and just a really good use of a Facebook group. I felt like, but and I really love their koozies say like the drunk 38, and it was like, okay. Don't get all to hell about this.
I have no idea why drunk 38 is a thing.
It's on a koozie because you're going to Super Nationals where there will be alcohol involved.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you were using a koozie, it's probably going to have beer on it. It's not the whole race. The whole thing is like the Super Nationals, but the koozie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought it was kind of fun.
I just still don't get it, but okay.
Alrighty, James says alternator versus no alternator with just a 12-volt battery. Any power loss toward the end of the race?
I'm not
I have a video on this.
You can run. I've run alternators. I've not run alternators even on my own stuff, and honestly, no, there's not going to be a power loss towards the end of the race because MSDs fire down to what? 6 volts, 7 volts.
It's really low
at full charge. So. They fire their full capacity at like 6 or 8 or whatever volts. The fast system goes down like, I don't know, a volt below the MSD stuff. So to me, an alternator, unless you're just lazy and can't put 2 terminals on a battery charger, then run an alternator. But if, you have no problem doing that, then don't.
Well, and I have a video.
No, if you're running like an HEI type system, then I would probably run an alternator. But anything fired by a box, it's not necessary. Unless you're running, 500 miles, which we're not, so.
Next, Brandon says, hope y'all are having a great Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad so far.
All right, relaxing.
Can't complain.
Joe says, I read somewhere to run the 602 with 6 quarts of oil instead of 7 to gain more performance. Any truth in this and your thoughts?
We run 7, don't run 8. I don't necessarily recommend running 6. you want to take a chance on your engine, you can run 6. If not, I'd run 7.
That is all of the questions so far.
Good. Are we done?
Sure. Any other wisdom you want to impart?
No, not really.
No, I don't really.
Yeah, so far so good.
Oh, I put out a new post on my own channel, which I cross promote all my things. So on CrateInsider.com, I know we probably have a lot of business owners here, and also racers. And if you've thought about sending emails to your audience, then I did a review of 3 different email service provider platforms.
So you did a bunch of nerd stuff.
I always do nerd stuff. I mean, 90% of my life is nerd stuff.
All right. So, that's kind of boring. So
Well, okay,
is there anything you did exciting this week?
Yes, I made another video on my Winning Motorsports marketing channel where I talked about, I was on a Zoom call a couple weeks ago with Joe Gibbs and Denny Hamlin.
Wow. There you go.
And I threw out the question, what advice would you have about sponsorship? And I got Joe Gibbs his insight. And I actually had that part of that recorded, but
now that's interesting. The whole nerdy email thing is not interesting.
Well, to someone who's a business owner who's struggling and wants to get better at digital marketing, it is interesting.
Okay.
That's not you.
Take your word for it.
That's not you.
At any rate, the whole Joe Gibbs thing. That's interesting.
So I haven't had a chance to put that video up on my personal website on CrateDillon.com, but which I will be doing, and creating a whole post around it. But I do have it up on my Winning Motorsports Marketing YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. But since I am speaking about email, for anybody who wants to be on our Racing Insiders podcast email list, so we're on video right now. We're live on Facebook, but this also gets turned into a YouTube video for Crate Insider, and it also turns into a podcast on Racing Insiders podcast.
You don't post the whole thing though, just like parts, right?
No, I post the whole thing.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do. We post the whole thing, and then
you bleep me out.
I mean, I don't know if we even bother anymore.
Okay.
Because you've been really good about not swearing every 5 seconds.
I've been trying to,
Yeah, you're really good. But if there's, sometimes we'll break out the little questions, like, hey, what headers do you recommend?
Right.
We just got tired of all of the X85 with things, so we just kind of quit with all of that.
Yeah.
It's like every week it's fuel.
Yeah. And, I was joking around. Well, I wasn't really joking around. I was actually being kind of serious. Like, I got questions this week. It's like, what jet should I run in my so-and-so carburetor? I'm like, I mean, you can't answer that. I don't know. Okay, it's a stock Holly. Well, I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Go to a dyno. Mm-hmm. Get on a dyno. Figure out what you got to run for your... What are you doing?
Trying to keep you from beating on the table.
Oh, I'm just, like, doing that. So, I'm like, man, it's just one of those questions you can't answer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Because if I answer it and it's wrong, then I'm an asshole because the guy burned his motor down. So.
Well, but, doesn't that go in line?
Finally in the conversation, I was just like, 68 to 72, somewhere in that range. I just got tired of having the conversation via Messenger on Facebook. So I just said 68 to 72s. There you go.
I spent a half an hour on the phone today this week, at least, trying to explain to someone that you cannot use a 3-inch muffler on a 3.5-inch collector.
Yeah, that doesn't work unless you have a reducer.
Yeah. Anyway, these things happen.
It happens.
It happens. No, it happens. All right, so let me see what we got here. This is... You're already shutting people down, Steve. You're interrupting me and shutting people down. He's like, what jets are you running in the 602 with a 650 CFM 4150? Mine seems to be loading up with the 69 jets. And then he says, never mind my question.
I didn't...
we really didn't.
I assume he's joking.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's just...
I'm hoping so. We're not here to make fun of people.
No,
at all. But there's some impossible questions.
There's just some things you can't answer, and it gets annoying trying to not answer a question and explain to somebody that I can't answer your question because I don't know. I don't know, what exact fuel you're running. I don't know, what day of the week you're, 1850-2 or 1850-12 freaking carburetor is built at Holly or whatever. And I'm just an engine builder. Well, my brother's a carburetor guy, but I'm an engine builder. And if you got a carburetor from a David Smith or a Willy or a Stealth or something like that, those are the guys that can answer the question for you. I can't.
Well, I mean, I think then it gets compounded by, if I say, hey, Steve, I've got this 4150 Holly. What jets do I need to run? Well, I don't really know what to tell you. Yeah, but I'm running like the Sunoco 103,
that's what happens,
and so I put in like the.
And I'm not throwing off on guys for asking the question because they're legitimately wanting to know an answer to the question. I just don't have the answer, and it's just certain things like that just make you a little insane.
Well, okay. Actually, that reminds me of another blog post.
And there are people, what I've said, man, I don't know, I can't tell you. And they're legitimately like, okay, thanks,
Yeah.
But then there's other ones just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I just give them random answer, and there you go.
Well, but it does remind me of so I put out a blog post this week also on my website. This is not as boring, is not as nerdy as the other one. Where it was like 5 quotes that I live by. And one of them is, for every complex question, there's a simple answer, but it's wrong.
Right. Well, yeah.
I actually had another interesting phone call this week where, because, at Crate Insider, we post the rules for all kinds of different series.
Right.
And somehow, I guess when you look up Crate Racing rules or something, even if it's rules that I don't even have, somehow my phone number comes up.
Okay.
Because there was somebody who called me and they were like, well, I'm trying to find out more information about this series. I said, well, I sell race car parts. I'm not really a series. Yeah, but I tried to look up their website. I tried to call them and they're not calling me back. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't, but at the end of it,
You're like the 800 number, the overseas operator for that series.
Oh my God, apparently. And then, I'm looking at their website. He's like, well, I looked on their website and it just says you can't access it. So I was explaining with the internet what the little security lock is, and then he needed to unlock his computer because it's really not an unsafe website because there's no money that's being transacted. Wow. But and here are the rules. I don't know. It's not this isn't what I do.
Yeah.
So I was giving internet instructions. So
right.
I am like I am people's personal Google.
So you like multitask this week.
I am people's personal Google. I will tell you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Now everybody's afraid to ask a question.
Everybody can ask the question. I mean, I'm not gonna. I was joking around at the start, but
yeah, we do get we get quite a few things. Let's see. Rick says, I have found that 22 ounces goes down as fast as 16 ounces in the right company.
This is correct.
Yes,
and so does 32.
That is true. That is true. Oh, we haven't talked about what are you drinking today? Is it anything interesting?
Basic bitch ultra.
Ultra. Okay. I am
trying to not get any fatter.
I'm going full basic. I got my Truly hard seltzer. This one's blueberry and acai.
Okay.
Oh, I'm layering. I had blueberry pancakes today for brunch.
Okay.
So now I'm
you got
layering.
A theme. You got a whole theme.
I have a theme. I have a theme. Blog posts and blueberries. That's the theme.
All right.
Oh, that might have to be the title of this episode. Blog posts and blueberries.
Okay.
Because we like to name things. It's fun. All right. Okay, let's see what else we got. Garrett says, we bought a 3-race freshened 602 Hendron from someone 2 months ago for a street stock, and it was badass.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
You got a little checkered flag there.
Nice.
Woohoo! All right. Awesome, Garrett. Gary and Susie are here saying hello. Fantastic. Alan says, what is 604 refreshening cost?
Basically right at $3,000 for us. I mean, to do it. So, and I'm hoping it remains that way at least through the end of the year, but you never know with GM and how often they change prices on their parts.
Gotcha. All right, Jay says, what are your thoughts on the fires that have been happening when fueling with funnels that have filters?
Wait, do what now?
What are your thoughts on the fires that have been happening when fueling with funnels that have filters?
I honestly haven't heard about any of that, but...
Well, but did you hear what happened last night?
No.
Okay, I mean, if I'm spreading rumors, I don't mean to, but you may have seen on Facebook, if you were on Facebook at all, a lot of people saying, hey, pray for Rick Eckerd's grandson.
Oh.
So they were at Port Royal, and apparently when they were refueling, somehow the fuel started on fire and burned the little grandson. I think he's maybe 5. And I'm not trying to speak out of turn. This is just what I've kind of gotten. And the child got life flighted out of there with severe burns. It's very sad. So I don't know if this question is related to that.
Yeah, I don't know. As
or
far
not.
As, yeah.
And if it's going to cause fires, I really can't be. I can't be in favor of that.
Well, I mean, we had a funnel back years ago that had one of those filters in it. Basically, it just kept the fuel in the damn funnel forever and took forever to fuel up. And I can see where, like, you know, especially in hot weather where there's a lot of static electricity in the air and stuff like that, where if you don't ground yourself with the carb before you fuel one up, that could cause a problem. So, yeah, I don't really have much thought on that, but I can tell you I have seen somebody before at a racetrack, and I watched this happen because I was across the pits from them. They took they took their lighter out and checked their fuel level. That did not end well for them.
Oh my God.
I watched it happen.
Wow.
I got a feeling the guy was probably about 12 Bud Lights deep in when he was checking the fuel. But yeah, that was not pretty.
Wow.
And he didn't get life flighted, but there was an ambulance hauling ass to local hospital here.
I mean, although did you see? Maybe I don't know if you saw it or not. I've spent way too much time on Twitter and Facebook today. I'm just gonna own it.
Okay. I spent 0 time. I was playing golf, Clash.
Well, I was creating like posts of the future and stuff, and then I just couldn't help myself. I was over there, and there's one of like the independent reporters, somebody who gives no maybe there's just like one little line. But he's just putting all these little short videos. But there was one of the protesters in Portland. I guess it was declared an unlawful assembly earlier than other nights. Like by 9 o'clock, they're already like throwing tear gas and stuff. But anyway, there was like fire, and then one of the protesters running out of the fire that he was all set on fire.
Good.
So I don't know.
Good for him.
People don't learn.
What do you call it? Darwin Award or
yeah, that would be
culling the herd, so to speak.
Yeah, culling. Yeah. I'm going to need you to take your Hitler down a notch.
Hey, I got no problem with culling the herd now.
All right, so Daryl says, have you had a chance to dyno a new 602, a new 2020 spec 602, and how much of a difference did you find if you did? We
have not dynoed the newest part number engine yet, but I currently have one apart, and I can tell you that really nothing's changed.
It's what I would expect.
As far as...
And that's
actually, we got 2 apart. I got one of mine, one of yours.
Yeah.
And no, the machine works still as shitty as what it was on the previous part number.
Well, and you know the thing about
which
GM,
we were hoping it wouldn't be. You know, because GM changed whoever was either finishing the part or the product for them or manufacturing it. I don't know, but that's why there was a part number change.
Well, remember, GM does try to keep things the same.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the same, all right. Exhaust ports are still upside down, like they have been for 2 years. So, there's that.
You have to show me what that means. I mean, you guys
I'll
talk
show
about
you.
it, but I don't know.
I got an old set of heads there. I can show you the difference between the old and the new.
Okay.
That might be a good video for you to do.
I don't know. Is it throwing people under the bus? Because I don't do videos
No,
like
it's
that.
not throwing anybody under the bus. It's just saying, here's how it should be, and here's what... However this happened at GM, here's what they did. So.
It's 2020. There's a new normal.
What fucked up? I mean...
Hashtag 2020. I mean,
good God.
do you really need... I mean, is there really any question with that?
I mean, I hate to be a dick, but they need to move the manufacturing back to because the Mexicans had it down pretty damn good. Whatever the hell they're doing up north right now is just... I don't know. It's awful.
Wow. All right, so Tori, my fabulous assistant, says, you're my Google life coach and dance partner.
Uh-huh.
We have dance parties sometimes.
Okay. I do not... You guys been using the bidet all week?
Just me, probably. Tori's like all afraid of it.
She's afraid of it?
Yeah. She's afraid of it.
What, you don't want to get squirt in the ass by cold water?
I think of it as a shower. It's a mini shower. All right, Jason, we're moving on from the bidet here.
Okay, all right.
So I ended up having to address the bidet on my Top 5 Tuesday
Well, good.
show.
I'm glad.
Yes.
You should have had to.
Yes. All right, so Jason says, Rocket Chassis had a post on Facebook about possible reasons the fire started from static electricity.
That's
much like you
normally the usual cause of it. I mean, most people, obviously, nowadays are smart enough not to smoke cigarettes while they're fueling their car, so usually it's static electricity. And especially when you've got like those plastic jugs, you usually got a plastic funnel. You're walking with the jug, it's rubbing on your leg, creating static electricity. You're getting charged up. And then if you don't ground yourself to the car, if you don't physically grab onto the car and ground yourself and dispel that static electricity, it'll create that once you start pouring fuel into the jug, and that's not a good thing. So,
Well, it just makes me wonder if we need to be looking at materials that aren't going to harbor static electricity. I mean, like rubber being one of the few.
yeah, that'd be a good idea as far as
Like maybe having a silicone
Fuel.
rubber funnel instead of like a plastic funnel. if
well,
we can
whatever.
make
It needs to be something that But
No, that's very
I mean,
interesting.
it happens every now and again. I mean, they're all over the country, so it's not like it's not uncommon.
No, but it takes me back to, just the fact that the pits can be a dangerous place.
Oh,
And of course, we
absolutely.
were
At
never
all times,
allowed
yeah.
as kids to be
course.
there back in our days. All right, Ray says, just keep a regular funnel clean. Those filters restrict flow.
Exactly. So I mean, we haven't used a filtered funnel in years. Because number one, it's just annoying, just sitting there watching the fuel go around and around and around. Just pour the shit in and go. Keep your jugs clean and you're good.
Keep your jugs clean.
Keep your jugs clean.
Just saying. All right. Christopher says, anyone out there coming to California for the Pettit shootout at Watsonville?
No, I wish I was, but I can't make it. Number one, because I don't want to go to communist California and have to be locked down when I arrive at an airport. So
Yeah,
Nope.
quarantine.
nope. But I did help sponsor the event. So Jimmy contacted me and we put a few dollars towards the race, obviously because it's his parents and they were badass. So.
Cameron is sending us cheers emojis here, and so we could cheers. We could clink glasses. Oh, there we go. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Daryl says, "Thank you. I've heard different things, but you know how that goes in this circle."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And Tori says about the bidet that was a hard no for her. Not after she watched it shoot across the room.
Might launch her ass across the room probably if she used it.
If she's tiny, yeah. It could. I don't know. Carrie says, how decent are the Schoenfeld 602 headers?
I mean, they're decent. I mean, any of the name brand headers are just fine. I mean, everybody builds a good product, so I mean, I've got nothing against them by any means. Is there better stuff out there? Are you going to spend more money? Yes. So that's just name of the game. What do you want to spend? How fast do you want to go?
All right, people are making fun of me and my bidet now.
Well, they should be.
No.
It's pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah, do you know why I bought it?
Yeah, in case like World War III happens and you've got no toilet paper again. But I don't know, like, does the power go out and you have no water? Or, I mean, how's all this shit? I have no idea how it works. I understand your reasoning behind it. I don't understand the principle and theory and how it's still going to function with no water pressure because all the power's out.
I mean, I'm not a doomsday prepper here. What in the world was that?
I don't know, some random
beeping
rando
somewhere.
beeping
Okay.
noise.
Anyway, I first heard about him from your buddy Sean Ryan.
About him?
No, but I heard about them.
Oh, you said him.
Bidets. No,
Okay.
From the recommendation.
Yeah.
Was Sean Ryan. I mean, it
Yeah.
is cleaner, more sanitary. It's
Right.
all of those things, and yeah, I mean, come on. When we have a crap situation going on, why not learn from it?
Well, right. Literally.
Exactly.
Wash that crap.
But no, I am not using the toilet bidet for a shower. He's like, that just seems wrong and dodgy. No, I'm just saying. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not as a shower. Yeah. Christopher says, Steve, did you send me a shirt for the Pettit event?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it went out.
Cool. Cool.
You should have had it, God, easily like by Thursday or Friday.
It's 5 days in California.
Yeah, it's 5 days.
So, and now there's a holiday mixed in there, so Tuesday or Wednesday. If you send it on Monday.
I sent it on Monday.
So on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me know if you don't get it or something, but yeah, no, it got sent out Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Gene asks, what improvements have been made to the new style 602 and 604? None. They make no improvements to any of these. The idea is that they do keep them stable. The only reason the part number changes is that each of the components come from a different supplier, and when they change suppliers, so if somebody else is making the heads with the exact same spec, they change the part number because it means that this assembly now has a different head.
Correct.
On even it's the same head. It's the same thing.
Like,
it's made by two different people.
Just like they'll probably be changing the part number on the 604 because they changed valve spring manufacturers.
Yeah, and our valve springs, they will also, but they're still going to be 604 beehive valve springs. They're just made by a different.
It's just their process to keep track of what's what.
Well, yeah, and that's why when you know that it's these engines are still going to end in the letters or the number 602. So none of this is ever about improvement. So a lot of times it's just going to be contracts and bids and part of the process.
It's never about them trying to make more power out of the next generation or the new gen or whatever. That's not what they're doing. Can it end up that way sometimes? Yes. Has it? Yes. But we're not talking like, I mean, after 2008, we're not talking about anything significant as far as like power numbers from, out of box engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Michelle Jr. Boss says, hey, Steve Hendren.
Hello.
Gary Benfield says, better piston. No, probably not. I mean, when we talk about 525s, that
525's got a better piston.
Yeah, that's an entirely different situation.
The 602 and the 604's got the same ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Christopher, is there a gain grounding your heads to the chassis?
Well, I would always run grounds. I mean, you don't need to be, a total spastic and have a spider web of grounds everywhere, but we'll ground normally head to head, like on our own car. We'll ground the driver's side and the passenger side head together, ground to the block, and then run a ground back directly to the battery. Nelson at Nelson Specialties told me to do that years ago. But as far as I've seen stuff where there's just a spider web of grounds grounding everything to everything, and no, that's not necessary.
Then you've also seen where there's no grounds anywhere.
Well, no, I mean we've had, yeah, true. So,
all right, Michelle Jr. Boss, she says, me and my son came to your shop in Rutherfordton.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Charles says, do you need to run a valve spring shim under 602 valve springs?
Do you need to? Usually, I'll be honest, the last 2 or 3 years, normally the heads, come through from GM illegal from the factory on installed height. So normally no. It's supposed to be, 1,700, I think is what installed height is on a 602. And I've seen them come through at 1,680 from the factory. So no, usually you don't.
Okay, that was all for the questions for right now.
All right.
So they can keep asking. Keep asking.
I'm gonna go have a cigarette.
Are you? Well, we can also just wrap things up. We've been here about 45 minutes or so.
I totally am.
Yeah.
Unless you want to tell everybody about email.
Well, now everybody's making fun of me today.
Why? Because you're bidet?
Well, between my bidet and my nerdy email things.
I did post a funny video of your bidet.
That was hilarious.
It was actually really hilarious.
It was funny. But yeah. But you can still talk.
Smoke break.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he ditches me. See, there's...
see me?
Yeah, you're right there.
All right.
You're just smaller than me right now.
Right.
Yeah, or I'm bigger than you. One or the other. So I'm bigger than you. I could crush you. I could look at that. I'm patting you on the head. Bop, bop. Oh my gosh.
You can always talk more politics.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's yeah, those are interesting conversations. How do you reason with emotions? There's nothing to deal with there. I got nothing. Let me see.
Now, when you approach politics emotionally rather than logically,
yeah,
that's what separates,
yeah,
the left from the right usually.
Oh, and Michelle said she donated to your dad's race a few years ago.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, and in fact, your dad's memorial race is coming up soon.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
And I don't know if you guys can hear him. So it's in Pittsburgh, and October, that will be the 3rd. Is that Saturday?
3rd and 4th?
Well, Saturday, Sunday. So 2nd and 3rd would be the Friday and Saturday at PPMS. I really like that track. I like the promoter there. I like the facilities. I like Pittsburgh. Hopefully Pittsburgh hasn't been like these other cities. I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
They have been. Not Allegheny County. They got a dipshit for a mayor and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, you're going to have to speak up, because I don't know if people can hear you.
I said that Allegheny County, they got like a dipshit for a mayor and a city council and all that crap too. So, yeah, they've been pretty stupid too.
Gotcha. Well, Michelle says, you gave my son and I a shirt, and I donated lap money to your dad's memorial race in 2013.
Cool.
Cool. Rose says, hi, Kate and Hendren. Love the show. Run a lot of your products. We ran 3rd at Brownstown last night.
Awesome.
Well, congratulations. That's fantastic.
That's like doing something at Brownstown, because they got a lot of tough competition up there.
Wow. Cool. Gary says, will y'all sell tees for that race? And I don't think you're making up any t-shirts for that race.
No, we haven't done that, honestly, since probably 2013 or so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we will.
Michelle says her son is now stationed in New Jersey in the Air Force. Nice. Well, thank him for his service, for sure. Anyway, I think we can wrap this up, Steve. Move on with our day, Labor Day weekend. Wrap it up. Do you have any final thoughts?
Is it really a Labor Day weekend though? Because we're.
Well, technically, I'm like literally working right now.
Probably work tomorrow.
Well, I'll be working half a day tomorrow at least.
Will you?
I've worked most of the day today, and yeah.
We're gonna go like kayaking or something.
Well, I will tomorrow, half day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even looked, and it's supposed to be sun shining, which is
the weather. The weather here has been great,
beautiful.
Actually, and it's too bad we're not outside. It's beautiful out there.
But the phone would overheat. Everything would overheat, and it would be bad.
But it's only like 81 or something today. So.
Yep.
And no humidity.
Cool deal. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week, next Sunday. Yeah. We should be back for Unsealed.
Oh! What? One thing I did do, I talked to Jim Bernheisel this week.
Okay.
At Laser Chassis.
Yes.
And Jim already has some digitized video that he's probably going to send you for the Racing Rewind channel.
Well, I hope so, because we are out. We are completely out of video for the Racing Rewind channel. Yep. And that makes me sad, because I really love those videos.
Well, I still need to go through some of my stuff, but it's predominantly my stuff, so I'm just trying to get more people right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
If we can get some of Jim's videos, that'll be some pretty cool stuff. That'll be some Max racing up north back in the day, and
that'd be great.
He said he's got a bunch of videos.
Well, so far we've got California and Iowa, for the most part. So it'd be nice to have that Pennsylvania, and I'd certainly love to get some southern races on there
Ohio,
too.
And all that. Yeah.
I'd like to get some southern races up there too, and really get around the country.
So
if anybody has any videos of racing videos, whether
we're talking videotapes,
whether it's videotapes or it's already digitized, and that you've saved, and
trying to do some old school racing stuff.
Yeah. And the easy way to find our YouTube channel is racingrewind.com, and it will redirect straight on over to the YouTube channel. Yep. So that'll work. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday on Unsealed.
Trump 2020.
Trump 2020. All right. Bye.
See ya.